they got the knowledge you crave. Hard hitting insight gonna make you win. Listen up closely, let the games begin. Top pick sleepers every week I spin. The FF universe here to help you win. The fantasy football universe.
All right, we're here. Week 7. It's happening. It's a solo show today, so you'll see it a little bit different than you normally do on the roundtable. Usually it's myself, Jeremy, Ryan, or SC, or Mike, or Rich, or one of us. But today it's just me. So we're gonna talk about a few different games, matchups, players that are going live, and then we're gonna kick it over to TikTok over on that way. So make sure you follow us on TikTok at the ffuniverse.com. We could do that. It's gonna be top right corner. That's gonna be your TikTok like login. So happily do that. We'll get it and go in there. Give me 1 sec. We'll fix that.com while we do that. But anyways, let's talk about what's going on, all the information we have for week 7 so far. So we have a lot of things changing. David Njoku's been ruled out. That game's supposed to be a weather game in Cleveland, so it's going to be a disaster. So I don't really want to start anybody. Maybe you can start Hero Fan, maybe you can't. But overall, it's just brutal. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining us. Let's see. Need 2 RBs and 1 flex and half PPR redraft. Mason Etienne, charge. Okay, so Pollard's off the board. I'm not doing Judy. Those guys are immediately. I'm not doing Kenneth Walker either. He's in too much of a timeshare. You could do Diggs, but my issue with Diggs, and particularly in half PPR, is he's only like not even running 70% of routes. He's the Josh Downs of the New England Patriots, where he's not on the field enough. And will that change? I don't know. But last week it was in the 60%, so a snap share sucks. So basically, I'm going to go to the best running backs that you have. It's like Mason and Etienne are the 2 guys I want to play. You could take the upside shot of either the Seattle Seahawks running backs. Obviously, we do this with Kenneth Walker each and every week. I'm not doing Pollard. I would actually have Diggs as my 3rd, but it's close between Kenneth Walker and Diggs. Like, I think that's a similar range of outcomes. So if you want to shoot for the moon, you can go Diggs just because we've seen him have the boom. Still waiting for Kenneth Walker. So the 2 running backs should be Mason Etienne. Then I would say do Diggs. It's just unfortunate with a lot of these guys. Like Pollard, Tajay Spears has come in, and that offense is so bad that he's running all of the routes. And it's going to continue out the year because Tennessee is just a disaster. They have nothing going on. There's no Calvin Ridley this week. Like, it's Alec A. and Lenore. Like, it's not good, man. Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Scott, because it happens every year, right? We do this every year, right? We're like, so mean. This is what happens. And this is why, and more so in Dynasty, the depth is a little bit more dependent. And like, this is my like Achilles heel in Dynasty. I don't treat it until I need it, and then of course you need it, and you got to trade 3rd round picks for some scrub of the week, right? Maybe you go Keenan Allen or somebody along those lines, but yeah, it's just brutal. And with Debo out, it's like, all right. I mean, we get Kittle back, which is nice, and that's the huge boost that we need in the tight end position because tight end's a dumpster fire. It's absolutely dumpster fire. McBride's been disappointing, Bowers been disappointing, Kittle's been injured, so our big 3 tight ends like going into the season. Now we got Tyler Warren is doing a thing, but yeah, it's just not good. Like, there's no way around it. It's like, yeah, this is what's the interesting thing is, if he is, I think he's going to play. Like, Jacobs has dealt with injuries his entire career. He's barely missed games. So it has to be a real significant injury for Jacobs to basically not play. Now, there was like 2 years ago, there was a game where Jacobs he didn't really get his full snap share and like routes and anything along those because he was hurt. He played through it, but I think it's going to be a little bit better than that. So, which Wilson are we talking about picking up here? Like, are we talking? Can you clarify that? But yeah, like, I'm fine dropping Rashid Shaheed because he's not really playing above those guys. Rashid Shaheed and Diggs are similar. Rashid gives you more upside. Diggs gives you, I guess, higher floor. But it's Eugene Wilson. Yeah, I mean, you could pick him up. I know what you're talking about. Sorry, I was confused because I had a Geetin League where Garrett Wilson was dropped, and I was like, I'll pick him up. Thank you very much. And roster him. Yeah, it's fine. I don't like either of those guys. Chris McCaffrey's just not running the routes. Chris Moore could play more of a role, I guess, but like, I'm not gonna. Yes, thank you, Emmanuel Wilson. Yeah, he's not been bad actually when he's been on the field along with Jacobs, but it's gonna be a really weird situation Thankfully, they're favored in this game. Their defense is so good. They're still going to rely on like the running back in this game. So if Jacobs does miss time, I'm fine like flexing Emmanuel Wilson if you need to play him. But it's going to be like a split. Like they're not just going to fully give him the entire workload because that's just not how it usually works for these backups, particularly of Wilson's caliber. But yeah, I'm fine picking him up if you don't ever consider Shaheed a guy you're going to play. Like if Shaheed just consistently sits on your bench, take the running back handcuff because the upside is just almost entirely higher with running backs. So we see this thrust in the positions. Like we see JCM do this. We see like what's going on in Carolina. It's not Carolina. Rico Dowdle to a point, and then like the Cardinals, right? You're seeing a lot of this too. So you see these guys, even if they get like half, like splitting it, they can still be impactful, which is the floor is just higher with those guys. I'll say that. So yeah, that's fine with me. Honestly, Scott, I don't want to play either one of those guys. So it has to be a real deep league for me to consider either one. If you want to do like McCaffrey's been efficient this year because he got touchdown, he's done some things. You could do that, but like I'm really not trying to play a Washington wide receiver in this game. I really don't want to do it. Now we could like get into rankings a little bit and go down there, but if I'm scraping the barrel wide receiver, like it's got to be a deep league. Like we're talking 2014 league, 32 stuff like that. Then yeah, then I'll entertain those guys, but I don't feel good about either one of those guys. It's unfortunate, man. It's brutal. So let me see about how I have rankings. Actually, I need to pull these up because I'm not sure how I have these guys ranked. To tell you the truth. Pull that up 1 second. Yeah, actually, we'll get to that in a second. Sorry, I'm on another page here. Don't want to do this direct. Let's see here. All right, so PC running backs are Judkins, Monty, Swift, Charbon, Woody. Wide receivers are Nico, Rice, Flowers, Jacoby, Golden. Got offered BTJ for Swift. Am I crazy to decline? Yeah, like your wide receiver room has a lot of question marks about it. Jacoby's it's a really bad situation. He's getting targets, just been inefficient. Golden's still a really unproven rookie, so it's coming along. Zay Flowers, the issues without Lamar Jackson, it's so hard to start that guy. You literally can't. You have Rashi Rice come back from the injury. Nico's the one sure thing you have a wide receiver. Rice gives you massive upside. But outside of that, there's just a lot of risk with these guys. I don't mind it. But it is a pretty steep drop off because I'm not a big fan of Monty and what he's doing. He's super touchdown dependent as your RB2. I much prefer Monty's like your RB3 or RB4 on a roster. So if you want to keep Swift, that's fine. I don't think you necessarily have to do this for BTJ. Like, is there a really difference between BTJ and Rashi Rice? Like, I think most people would say Rashi Rice probably has a higher ceiling like this season, right? So he's gonna slide in between him and like Zay Flowers. So I don't think it's a massive upgrade for your wide receiver room. And the downgrade, like, if you're starting Monty and then you're in the Sharp Woody range as your backups, it gets real dicey running back. So I'd be fine holding, honestly. What up, Jamie? Thank you for joining us. Jamie's one of the OGs. Been here time and time again. We very much appreciate you, my friend. Just lost Debo this week. Need a wide receiver, too. Let's see what's going on here. It's not looking good. Yeah, I agree it's not looking good this week. All right, so we got Tucker, Trey Tucker. Nope, not doing that. Jalen Coker, he's a fine like wide receiver 6 this week. You have 2 Tuckers? All right, we'll get in that. Can you clarify what's the other Tucker? I'm just blanking on who it is. Hey, cheers to you. Maybe one day I'll get this Ghost sponsorship. We'll do it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're here for the vibes anyways, right? We're here for a good time. Amonor, Whittington, Pierce, Reynolds, McCaffrey, 10 jobs, Michael Jones. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually fine going Amonor because he's the most likely to have a secure role. Whittington's going to get a boost too, and I don't mind Whittington. It's just he's not really a full-time wide receiver. Yeah, they're asking him to do a lot in that offense. They're basically what they're going to do with this offense is Higbee's going to have a bigger role. He's going to push forward. They're going to kind of like split what Puka does, but a bunch of different dudes. Whittington can kind of go short arm of the field, do those things. They're going to bring other guys in the fold. So, like, I don't mind Whittington or Amonor on your roster. Pierce is just so boom bust. Like, it's hard to start him. Josh Reynolds, he's going to be in that range too. I think Josh Reynolds is like wide receiver 40. I would rather start Reynolds at New York over the Washington guys. I'll tell you that much. Tez Johnson. So Tez Johnson, I'm not going to play him just because we're getting news that Mike Evans is coming back too. So if he was going to be getting a ton of routes, I don't know if he's getting routes. Michael Wilson, top, and Burden. I'd rather do freaking Luther Burden if we get news that DJ Moore is not playing. So DJ Moore, for me, if he's out, Burden can step in that role and he could be valuable. So it's going to be between basically like Amonor, Whittington, Reynolds, and basically Burden. yeah, I can do Pierce if you want, but like the guys that I'm going to lead to in the rankings at DJ Moore's Alex Burton's going to be the highest, right there with Ian Lenore, and then I'll have basically Reynolds. So like, if you want to take the upshot of being the wide receiver one with Justin Fields, that's Reynolds. Or if Ian Lenore, you want to take the upside of the wide receiver one with Tennessee, it's not good either one of those quarterback plays right now, right? Obviously, Cam Ward is like he's shown a pathway to giving us upside based on his college tape. Fields is just a horrible processor, not a good quarterback. He's a really good rusher, and he's got to run a touch in this game. It's going to be interesting. So, yeah, I'm fine with Burden. And if you don't like Burden, then you could go with your choice of Iron Lenore in Tennessee, or you can go with Reynolds with the Jets. Because that one, they're actually forcing Reynolds is showing he could do a little bit more as far as Whittington, because Whittington's has some decent snapshot games. But, yeah, I feel like that's how I'll have it ranked. The beginning of the club. Yeah, so I'm really, like, fading this entire game. You could do Fannin if you want. I don't want to play a wide receiver in this game. Like, it is brutal. Jalen Waddle is the one guy on the – and this is the Cleveland side. But the Miami side, I'm going to play Jalen Waddle just because he's going to get enough targets. Yeah, and if he does play, then, yeah, you don't play Burton. Like, that's just as easy as it is. So, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, good luck with that, K-Dog. Hopefully it works well for me. And we'll be doing this tomorrow. I'll have either Ryan or Jeremy or one of the other knuckleheads at the FFU because we got a ton of them, including myself. We'll be doing sit-start shows tomorrow, too. I'm also going to go on TikTok. We're going to get a ton of sit-start questions there. We'll do that. Yeah, I mean, this is the whole thing with Jordan Mason. So, Jordan Davis is back, and that always gives me pause against the Eagles. Their back end's pretty depleted, but I will say they are getting guys coming back. Quinyon Mitchell's coming back. It kind of shifts how this game is. Because, yeah, the Eagles' defense has been really bad due to injuries on the back end and Jordan Davis in the front. It's just kind of dysfunctional, but like they're getting a lot of good pieces back through Jordan Davis and Quinton Mitchell's. That's two elite players. Like you have a really, really good cornerback and one of the best D linemen in the NFL, like coming back. So the whole thing with Minnesota is their offensive line is a disaster. Now they're getting guys back from injury, so it makes it interesting. I don't mind taking a TD bet on Mason, but if you don't get a touchdown in this game from Mason, it's going to be rough. So Mason's going to be like wide receiver 20, or excuse me, running back 20. I think it's 26 for me. I'm not really high on Mason. I just don't like how this game sets up for that offensive line. And as you know, Jordan Mason's good, like broken tackle rate, his good yards per contact, all of these things. But he's going up against a different beast this week. If that Eagles front is healthy, I'm a little bit worried about it. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like this is what, I mean, if you just follow the data, it's kind of boring, right? Because you just, predictions always says you have to take a step, right? So, PC, if you believe in a guy and predicted a big game, then yeah, go trust your gut. Like that's what it's all about. There's nothing worse than like if I talk to somebody and like I'm unsure and I'm like, you know what, I want to start this guy, but then I like go against him and then he falters or he succeeds on against me. I'm like, dude, that's the worst. So yeah, I'm fine with that. It's all good. Lad and QJ, look at this L1. I would keep Lad. QJ, he's been really good. He's been incredibly good. I just think Lad's a better overall player. It took them to figure it out a little while, but we've seen Lad kind of come back down. QJ was getting a lot of touchdowns early. It's incredibly high to sustain a touchdown rate. That's so hard. He's not Mike Evans. Like, he's not a guy that's going to push double-digit touchdowns every year. He's getting a lot of red zone look, but Lad started getting them last week. So I would sell QJ just because people are probably a little bit more unsure on Lad for redraft. And I would sell QJ just to see what you can get. But if you can get a better package for Lad, then sell Lad. Like, I'm fine selling either one of those guys at cost. If I had to choose to keep one, I would keep Lad just because I've been on the Lad thing. Oh, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you being here as well. You are one of the OGs as well, so thank you both. So yeah, this game, you need Jaden Daniels to do a lot, and I still don't like their wide receivers. You can play them just because like Dallas' defense is so bad. The weird thing about Kraft, and this is kind of like he's been just like a solid, like he's not getting the boost we were expecting. No one in that Green Bay passing attack is. Kraft is the yards after contact, the touchdown specialist in that offense, so he gets a little boost. I don't mind it. I would say if you want to shoot upside, you want to go Ertz in this one, that's fine with me. I'll still have Kraft ranked above him just because I like his role and everything he does, and like you see, he can bust like a 70-yard touchdown. Like Ertz can't do that, right? So it's close though. If it was PPR, I would actually lean a little bit more towards Ertz just because he's going to get like a ton of targets. Like he's been that type of guy. Kraft doesn't really earn a lot of targets. That's kind of the issue. So I don't think it's crazy. Like those guys are similar for me this week. Like we've had Kraft really high in rankings. I'm pushing him down a little bit. He's like tight end 6. Like there, Ertz is like tight end 8, 9. So like they're same spot. Traded BTJ, Mike Evans, Chase Brown for Garrett Wilson, Javonte Williams. Yeah, it's good. I don't think people fully understand how good Javonte Williams' role is. It's a smash over Chase Brown. And then Garrett Wilson, like you're getting the best wide receiver of the 3 in his role. Now Mike Evans comes back. So one thing where BTJ is coming along, but like if I'm choosing between those guys, I'm fine. Because you're upgrading the running back room and it's 10-man, so you just want the best starting lineup you can in 10-man. Like the depth is whatever. You can get plenty of guys with the waiver wire. So yeah, I'm fine making that type of move. I think that works for you. You just have to sustain till like week 9 with Garrett Wilson because he's not playing this week. They have a bye coming up soon. So can you sustain this 2 weeks at least? And it's just like, if you can, yeah. Like that's the type of team that's you're 5-1, you're 6-0, 4-2. Those type of moves you make or you think about the playoffs because you're already setting yourself up that way. So you're fine doing that. Yeah. But like I think that it depends how you view Chase Brown. That's the thing about it. I like Chase Brown's buy low, but in this perspective, like turning him into Javonte, I think is that's a massive gain for Javonte's role, what he's doing in that offense. Like you don't have the issues that the offense has. Like we even saw this the Thursday night game. Like, Chase Brown was like okay, but he doesn't do anything special. Like it just sucks. And is like his metrics, like his efficiency, is not good by the offense line. Try to trade Nico for Pickens and Bill. Do you need a running back? Because Bill's setting up for a very good week this week. What's interesting is if he sustains his role he had last week, he kind of pushes into this Jonathan Taylor or Travis Etienne, guys that are getting almost like 70% of the rushing opportunities. Now he's basically a 0 in the receiving game. He might get like a target or 2, but he's not a targeter. He's never been a targeter. So I will say if you're desperate at running back, fine making this move. Sucks because this is a downgrade from Pickens to Nico, but like Pickens has been balling out. And if CD comes back and he's hurt, like, yeah, like I'm fine with this if you need a running back. If you need it, do it. I mean, yeah, because they could do that against Dallas. Dallas has just been abysmal. And like, their wide receivers are not good right now. Like this, they brought in Devo to kind of help that wide receiver room in general. So it's not just Terry McLaurin, but you take both of those guys out of the wide receiver room, man. It's rough. I'm not too happy about that, to tell you the truth. So we'll see how it goes. But this is just what it is. I still have Jaden Daniels ranked insanely high because I think he's just going to rush more personally too. But like you look at who they're throwing out there, you got Chris Moore, like he's going to be really up there. Luke McCaffrey, and then you could take a dart throw on like Jalen Lane or something. But like none of these guys are target earners. The snap share is going to be really ugly for all of these guys. It's going to be very tough. Or like maybe Noah Brown comes back to life because Noah Brown, I think it was last year, the year before, he had 2 monster games. 2 years ago he did that. Yeah, 2 years ago, he stepped into a situation where he basically put up back-to-back 25-point games. So problem is he's on the injured reserve. Unfortunately, I just realized that. So yeah, no Noah Brown. We're gonna keep talking. Big Nico game. Yeah, like Nico's awesome. That offense desperately needs him. Like they desperately need him. Yeah. What's interesting, yeah, I like Nico on like basically touchdown per week, like betting those, because yeah, he's an end zone target hog. He's like they feature him in there, and yeah, their line is so just bad up front. It's really hard for them to run, and particularly their running backs. Not that like Nick Chubb isn't anything special down the goal line, right? And they're kind of back and forth with him and what he marks. So yeah, it makes 100% sense. I think that's a very good call, Jimmy. 12-team dynasty. Would you have ETN plus a lot for Josh Jacobs? No, because that's a significant upgrade, like in the cost of Olave. Basically, we're treating Olave as a late one. So, like, basically, ETN plus a late one for Jacobs. I think yes, Jacobs is better, and his role is more secure. But, like, we're basically, if I'm only making this move, if I expect, like, ETN to give up more workload down the stretch. And that's not happening at all. We haven't seen that time. I like Bishop too, and I think he's a really good player. But, like, the coaches have to clearly trust him. So, like, yeah, your team's set up really well. You have ASRB, you have Odunze, you have Devontae. Like, your wide receiver room is really, really strong, and you're kind of using Olave as that piece. I don't think you really need to give the plus of ETN on top to do Jacobs. If you want to do Olave for Jacobs, I think that's fine. Like, go do that to insulate your running back room. But I don't think you need to give up ETN plus. I think that's a little bit more. So I would ask for something back. Go get, if you're going to do this type of deal, do you want to get Jacobs? Like, you have your mindset on Jacobs. And if you can't get other players who are similarly ranked to him, like, can you turn like ETN into freaking Javonte? Like, can't you do something like that? I think it would work a little bit better for you. But I will say, if you're dead set on Jacobs, get something back in that deal because you're just giving up too much, in my opinion. But I understand the mindset. Where's your team at in the league? Are you contender right now? Because this is like a big contender type of move you would. But no, overall, like that's too much. I'm not going to give that up in Dynasty. All right, so this week are JT, Judkins, Lamb, London, Flex of Doomsday. Yeah. The problem is, I really don't want to flex JCM over Odunze. Yeah, like it's a super juicy matchup. I will 100% give you that. I am just incredibly high on Rome Odunze each and every week. So that's my whole thing. Like he's playing the Saints. The Saints defense is not good. He could absolutely cover up the Saints defense. So I'm gonna roll with him. But yeah, I actually don't mind this thought perspective at all. Like if you think JCM can get you 20 touches in that offense, which is possible, then I'd be going that way. Yeah, that's totally fine. So funny. Yeah. And yeah, like there is a pathway for Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I always struggle saying JCM for some reason. For him to have a monster like 3 touchdown game. That's entirely his range of outcomes. With these guys that aren't pass catchers, the floor is just a little bit lower. Like, and I think that's the kind of the like we saw like Jordan Mason get really high in rankings, and I'm like, y'all need to pump the brakes because you're basically baking in touchdowns when you're ranking these rushers that are not pass catchers into like this elite category. So I like JCM a lot. He's borderline RB1 this week. I think that's a good spot to have him. But like, I'm not going to put him as like a top 8 running back. I know there's injuries and things of that nature. That's just because of his role. It just needs to grow a little bit. Yeah, I mean, see if you could do something like ETN plus Charbonnet or something along those lines, because Charbonnet is handcuffed. Like, he's not really a guy you're ever going to start. So I would rather keep ETN and do like, if you want to do Olave as the throw-in piece is Charbonnet, that's fine. Like, it's good. That's a little bit of a plus, but that's fine. You're giving up a quality RB2. Charbonnet is like a guy that's not getting in your life anytime soon. Yeah, so I don't think you necessarily need to make this move. I think like you're fine just staying where you're at. And you have JCM too. So like he's like just put JCM in your lineup this week. I would play him over ETN. Like I would start JCM over ETN. They're close, but like, you know what I mean? So but you have Scatterbrain and CM, so no, you're not. You're just gonna show even though I actually have Scatterbrain lower in my rankings this week. I do not like the Denver matchup at all. I think it's a really bad matchup for that offense. So I'm gonna be lower on him. Yeah. So what's interesting is he needs to get there. Like this is how he's gonna get there through the receiving game. Yeah, I would shoot if you're gonna go for it. Well, can't you ladder this? Is your website gonna let you ladder it? Where you go? You basically do 25 and then 35, 45 type stuff. Like I would ladder it, see if you can get all 3 of those. That's what I would do if I'm gonna make that bet, Jamie. Like that's how I would go about doing that. Because yeah, he's gonna get a ton of targets, man. He's gonna get a buttload of targets this game. So oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Give me one second. I'm gonna pull something up. So excuse me. I think it's like a good idea because yeah, it's really tough to run against Tampa Bay. Like everyone knows that, right? So but like overall, it's not a bad matchup by any stretch. The difference is the efficiency because it's 3.56 yards per carry. They're still giving up 6 targets a game. We're gonna smash that. Like we're absolutely smashing that. And they're giving up 10 yards of reception. So like you could definitely get there with him. So I think you could absolutely get there. And I would ladder if you can ladder it. Hey, I appreciate you joining us, J Dabs. Like, please like and join the channel. This is what I'm talking about. Appreciate it, man. Same words picture, but different team. Yeah, it's all good. That is pretty funny, Christopher. I was like, wait, I thought this was the same dude for a second. Well done. Seems like you guys tag teaming this stuff. I remember when I had one of those. I think I had like a turquoise one or something. What's interesting, their OC's never called games before in his life. And he's been a Sirianni lieutenant since like back in the Colts days. So like, excuse me, Nick Sirianni lieutenant. So reading up on it, I still don't know why he has control of this offense. It's super dysfunctional what he's trying to get them to do. And you're seeing how just bad everything is going. On top of that, they have injuries up front with the line. So it's not like they can just bully people, even though people are super mad about the Jalen Hurts touch push. I'm like, dude, it's fine. It's whatever. Like if they want to run it 4 times, 5 times in a row down there, that's their choice. They can do it. It's not fun football to watch. And I think that's everyone's biggest issue with it. But yeah, they need to figure out. They need to get him out. Like you have to take this OC out. You can't keep doing this with this team. And then if I was this team, I'd be like, get this fucking guy out of here. We cannot have him call plays. So they either need to have like a a meeting with the coaches. They understand something, but it's just super dysfunctional all over the place across the Saquon's. The one thing is the weird thing about Saquon is his role is basically the exact same. He actually has a higher target share than his last year, but his role, his opportunities, it's just the same. Like the efficiency was through the roof last year. This year it's regressed. Like he's getting, I think his carries where he's getting hit before the line of scrimmage is pushing like 30-something%. Like, so it means he's getting absolutely just, there's no room for him to run. It's tough. So the thought process of buying low, like I'm still buying AJ Brown. Saquon's getting that point where it's a little frustrating, but Hurts has been the guy that because he rushes so much, he's at least scoring the points. It's been brutal. They got to figure it out. So hopefully they can figure it out and come back to this because, man, it is bad. Let me tell you what. As someone who has a team in my home league, I have Saquon, Hurts, and AJ Brown all in my starting lineup. I've just started benching like AJ Brown. I'm about to start benching Saquon on the team. Like I'm getting so frustrated with the team. So yeah, it's brutal. Let me see here. You have Genty, Henderson, JSN, Nico, Watt, Evans, Sharp, and man. Yeah, like so you have the depth to do this. And I'm like, this is the fine deal. Is this the deal you guys were talking about? Like, I swear this is the exact same deal we talked about. With this roster, like you're upgrading. Oh, sorry, I'm flipping it. My brain's all over the place. If you can tell, I'm completely out of it today. I still want to ride it out with Henderson because he's such a good prospect and player. Like that pathway to getting there. The game is not slowing down for Henderson at all. Like his eyes are not seeing and he's not trusting his eyes. I know like people will continue to bring up Jonathan Taylor thing. Like it was like week 9 when he finally got it together his rookie year. Like the game slowed down and then he was that difference maker. I'm expecting Jonathan Taylor's not going to get 350 carries this season. Like that's not what he's going to do. But just the fact that sometimes it takes guys a little bit longer to adjust to the speed of the NFL. That's clearly happening for him because you saw him like he Madden glitched last week. He's in pass protection, didn't know what to do, and he's just doing like he literally like Madden glitched on the field. So he clearly doesn't trust himself. His confidence is down. It will get better. I would ride it out with him unless you could turn him into like a higher end asset, particularly in redraft, like a 5-7. Dynasty's a little bit different. Jalen Hurts. It's Jalen Hurts. But I like Herbert, but that offense has been dealing with injuries and things of that nature. Let me actually pull up my rankings to make sure. I have Herbert like as a top 10 quarterback, I'm pretty sure this week, but he's definitely low. Yeah, I have Herbert quarterback 10. I have Jalen Hurts at quarterback 5. It's really hard for me to get Hurts a little bit lower than that. So that's just kind of how I do it because he's such a good rusher. But he's still like, he's near the top of the league in scoring. So like, you know what I mean? I'm not too worried about. Herbert's kind of come down a little bit recently. So it's been good though. He's been good. It's just Herbert doesn't rush enough. And that's always his problem when you compare to these rushers. Like this is why Drake May is entirely insanely high in rankings because he's rushing. This is also the same thing with Jackson Dart. He's super high in rankings. I pushed him down this week, but I still have him as a mid-level quarterback too because of the rushing. I think the pass rate is there. I really don't want to like speaking of guillotine leagues, I kind of want to stay away from Dart, those guys this week. But overall, yeah, I think that's fine. It's Hurts. And even like I know the Vikings like is a tough matchup for a team overall, but like what you want and what we're seeing is Carson Wentz is playing, which is good because JJ McCarthy's not ready yet. Yeah, so I think it's fine. I'll have Hurts higher though. Like I just always trust the rushing quarterbacks. Sometimes you get Dak going for 4 touchdowns. What are you gonna do? That's just life. I don't think we ever run projections like that. I'm never like that big on Laporta. He's like a mid-level tight end 1 to back end, depending on the matchup. I think he's fine, but he still has name cachet, which is weird because in this offseason, even though he had a down year last year, this offseason he was still like tight end 3 in Dynasty, and there was a gap in his rankings. And that's because what he does as a rookie, he was tight end 1 as a rookie, and people hold on to that. Like when some of my players finishes the first of their position overall, they get that boost, and he still kind of holds that boost where people are like, oh yeah, Laporta's like they still like him a lot, and I'm like, he's fine, but he's a replaceable tight end. His role is okay, but he had a good game last week. It's not much separating him from those other like back end tight end ones. Like it's like him or Waller. Sure, take the upside. Like in this match, and not in this week with Waller. I don't really want to play Waller because that passing game and Waller's pushing downfield and the freaking wind gust, like that sounds terrifying. But like that's the type of player we're talking about with him. So I don't think he's an elite tier tight end or anything like that. He's just a really good NFL tight end, has a good role and a good NFL offense. You have to find a team that needs a tight end because tight end is such a dumpster fire. So if you find someone that thinks he's valuable, you can push him into like the RB2, the wide receiver 2 range, maybe. But I would more or less package him with like somebody on your team. if you have another tight end on your roster, that is fine. Like, who else do you have another tight end on your roster? Are you trading him in a tight end? I mean, it's been really good for Mahomes this year. Like, that's kind of gone under the radar, and it's actually interesting. I'll pull something up on Mahomes real quick. Because he's actually been super efficient. He's been really good. Like, this is like what we've seen from Mahomes in years past, and people were just so down on him. Like, he's up to 24 points a game. He's the freaking quarterback one. Is like he's getting a lot of touchdowns, but he's like they're getting the number one amount of red zone attempts in the NFL. So like he's doing that. He's been good. Like he's doing everything you want from him. Like he looks unbroken. Last year looked like dysfunctional kind of a little bit, but he was so good, right? This year he's still like avoiding sacks. Time to throw is basically bottom of the league. He's got the quickest like release in the NFL. It's just interesting, but he's doing everything. And I think they've done a fantastic job of keeping him upright enough to let him cook. But the thing that's gone on radar is Mahomes has gone over 50 rushing yards 3 separate times. Like, he's rushing a good amount. And I don't think he actually, I'm going to go under his rushing yard this week just because the matchup, I don't think he has to do it. But, like, that's the underrated part of his game. He's got, like, almost 200 rushing yards this year. Like, he's been really good. If I'm doing the math on that correct, let me see. Yeah. That's like 200 rushing yards through 6 games. That's quite the pace. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that's the part that people aren't fully realizing is what it is. Because the passing is great. The touchdowns are there. Yards per attempt, it's all good. He's basically third in fantasy points per drop back. And this is the whole thing, his expected role is number 1 quarterback in the NFL. Like, I think I don't see any reason for that to change. So I was lower on Mahomes going in the year. Had him like a mid to back end. I need to bump him up for like rest of season, where he kind of falls into that top 5-ish tight ends weekly. Like, I have Mahomes 3. I'll probably put him 2 over Drake May, to tell you the truth. He's just been awesome. He can regress a little bit just because his touchdowns are a little hot, but overall, no. I see no reason why Mahomes should not be kind of what we're looking for here. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it, I'll tell you the truth. I need to mute this really quick, actually. Let's use QR. Excuse me. Do that. Okay, yeah. So, we're going to keep this going for a little bit longer. I appreciate y'all guys being with us. Thank y'all. Like, this is awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, like that's much better. Josh Downs, I like Josh Downs, but like we talked about with Diggs, that role is just so tough to be super stable. I think he's a good NFL wide receiver. I think that is a better, like, that's a more realistic way into getting Jacobs, but it just depends. Like, if you're trying to get Jacobs, is that manager open to dealing Jacobs? Because if they're not, they're probably going to want more than that. So if you can't get Jacobs, go like a similar type of guy, right? Like, can you get Saquon for that? Probably not, but you could at least entertain it, right? So this is where, when I'm making deals in my leagues, I just try to go find the guy, right? In that range. Like, what you're looking for from Josh Jacobs of the world is a guy that's going to give you 20 touches in the game around that range, right? Be efficient, a bunch of touchdowns, rushing. Decent passing game, but he's not fully there. So, yeah, you go for target those guys. That's why I said Javonte Williams, because he's just a much cheaper version of that in a really good offense. And I know he doesn't have the job security, but it costs a hell of a lot. So, yeah, if you can't get Jacobs, I think that's like that range of players fine. If they don't like Downs, flip them for similar rank player, you know what I mean? And, yeah, J-Dabs, let me know if that was that goes for you. John Paul Taylor, thank you for joining us. Let me 1 second. Yeah, 1 and 5. Trade away Lad. So I'm not doing I don't really want to buy into JT right now on the 1 and 5 team. Now I get it. Like, you have Puka Neighbors. So if I were you in 1 and 5 and it looks like you've already lost Puka, you lost Neighbors, so this is probably the time to start rebuilding that year. I don't think I'm doing this deal because I think Lad long term, I really like his outlook. I think JT's good. But like, I would just rather hold on to Lad personally. Because like I don't ever want to buy into aging running backs unless they're cheap. Like, this is why I like Javonte Williams. Like, he's getting older, but like he's a hell of a lot cheaper. And I'll do this thing where I just run them year to year. Unless I'm getting the truly elite, like I'm talking about Christian McCaffrey, a guy that's like breaking the season. JT's close. He's a he's borderline RB1, just mid-level guy. He's just a little bit lower. So that's always my issue with him, because he's a little bit older. The dynasty perspective is going to go down for him. So if you want to make the push this year, but like, Yeah, the 305, like I don't value thirds, particularly in 14-team league. That gets really dicey. Like a mid-level third, the hit rate on that's like less than 10%. Like it's just not good. So you have to really trust your process. And there are a lot of good people, like some of the best people I know in this industry. Like Couch Scouts is probably one of the best people I know as far as like perspective of just like scouting. So if you want someone that's doing the scouting on that, if you want to get that, go follow Couch Scouts. They're awesome with this. But I will say, from my perspective, I don't really want to do that for JT because can your team make the playoffs? You lost neighbors already, right? So your Puka, I need to know like your whole team and see how it looks. Because at 1-5, that's like a clear sign. Like, what's your max points for? How does it compare to the rest of the league in Dynasty? Where do you sit? This is where places like Dynasty Data Lab or excuse me, Dynasty Daddy, like they'll rank your league just to see. So you could see the kind of like what's your league, how you set up against your league. You put the league information in. You go to contender view. You see how your points are. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to do this instead of because if I'm 1-5, man, my team is probably injury prone and I'm probably taking for the next year. So I don't want to buy into an aging running back by doing that, if that makes sense, right? And I know it's tough because you want to compete each and every year, but like that trio of Puka, Neighbors, and Ladd, that's fantastic. Like that's a really good wide receiver core. What young guys do you have at running back? Like, do you have good young running backs, or are we talking about like guys that are like handcuff backups, like the Bashal Tunes of the world, right? I think he's good, but like he's a backup at handcuff, right? So depends. But personally on this team, I'm just gonna like tank for the 101. You're 1-5. I feel like you have a shot to get there. If it's max points for, if it's record, like that depends on how your league sets it. So I would go the other way. I would wait. And then next year, I would maybe like if they have a championship caliber roster next year, I would buy into JT next year. It's going to be cheaper. It's not going to cost as much, right? I would do that. That's what I would do. So I'll personally go do that. Or if somebody like is getting older and they're like going to sell a McCaffrey or like a Derrick Henry for peanuts, like these older guys, right? That you could just use for like year by year game perspective. That's what I would do. J-Dabs, not a contender. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to get somebody 4-2 just to be like, I don't want to run this through, right? Because you've 6 games in and you're looking pretty good. So yeah, man, I mean, is this redraft? I'm fine with this because Alec and Wandale or whatever. Wandale's fine. Like his role's actually not too bad. The thing that sucks about Alvin Kamara, and this is what you're kind of getting into, and the issue of why you want to move into him, he's just not getting enough rushing yards because Kendrick Miller. Like Kendrick Miller's taking so in redraft, that's fine. I don't mind doing that. I think I would just go in that range, like those type of running backs. Just if you want to get out of the Alvin Kamara business, put them all together. Go I bet you could probably flip Alvin Kamara for Trayvon Henderson, right? Like you could probably do that in redraft, take the shot there because there's more upside built in, right? So you just go after those running backs in that range. If you want to do the Henry thing, I think it's fine. You just have to wait till Lamar comes back. He was good last week, though. Like, he was actually really good against that Rams defense. So that's a good sign that we want to see. So, yeah, I'd take Henry straight up. And Wandale and Alec are like, yeah, that's fine. Go do it. I think that's a one that you're going to like just because the Alvin Kamara thing is tough. He's getting a ton of targets. Like, he's back to that 20% target share, but just the rushing opportunity is not there. But we kind of know this with Henry each and every week, right? He's a boom bust guy, just game script dependent. So if they get blown out, like it kills him. The craziest game this year was the 40-plus point game that they put up where Henry did nothing. Like that was the most like what the game of all time. Because if Baltimore scoring 40 points, you expect Henry to be like really involved. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. So what's interesting, right? I'll break it in my league. My brother actually this league. It's a Superflex Dynasty league. He has JJ McCarthy. He's got Lamar. He's got another starting quarterback. He has no starting quarterbacks, right? And he was playing some scrub in his Superflex spot last week, and he got like 1 point. And he's like, I can't do this anymore. So he's like, would you do a fourth for Carson Wentz? And I'm like, why the fuck would I take a fourth? Like, I'm not going to do that. A third, I was like, give me a third. I don't care the year. I'll do it for you because I don't expect Carson Wentz to be starting very longer. But like the minimum cost for like a starting quarterback Superflex, it's a third. My brother was like, I'm not paying that. I was like, all right, kick rocks. Good luck. He's like, I'm going to try to go get a cheaper guy. And he might be able to get Jacoby Brissett for like a fourth or something, maybe. But I was like, dude, no, not doing this. Yeah, I think that's exactly what late thirds are for in these ranges. Like, I seen freaking Dallas Goedert go for a third in one of my dynasty leagues. Like, it's fine. Like, you just buy these guys for that cost. It's going to be a short window, but that's what late thirds are. The hit rates are so bad on those. That's why I like stockpiling those, getting those sorted to deals so I can just do exactly what you're doing. Because yeah, you have no Njoku, you have no Andrews. By the way, their roles are not great this year, anyways, right? So as long as you have a few of those wide receivers out, Godwin's out, and Luka's out, like it's Kid Otten, we've seen how involved he could be. I don't think he's going to be an elite tight end, but yeah, his floor comes up. I think it's good. I mean, it definitely doesn't make it look worse. It's just going to be hard. That Miami offense is just all over the place. It's not very good. They could literally murder Tua in this game. Like their defense is legit. They got Ward on the back end, is one of the best D-backs in the league. Like they have, Myles Garrett. They have all these guys on that team, and they also upgraded their defensive line this offseason. That kind of went under the radar. They're a terror. They're like a really good defense. So the weather makes their defense look a lot better. Like not a lot better, but it improves their defense. Like this game is a super low over/under. It's below 40. Like these teams are not going to be able to move the ball. And with the wind gusts, the thing about wind that's worse than rain is you can't push, like go throw into wind. Like particularly if it's 50 miles an hour gusts against you, you can't throw the ball. Like we saw that game in Buffalo a couple years ago that I think the Patriots won. It was like 3-something. But like they could not, I think they threw 2 pass attempts that game because Mac Jones could not throw the ball in the wind at all. So they just ran it. And like you just see this. It's just unfortunate. It just screws these games up this week. I'll go Goddard. Like Fanning gets the bump, but yeah, like I don't want these guys in that game. It's brutal weather. This is brutal. It scares the crap out of me. This is kind of getting that time of the year. We're a little bit early for it, but it's usually November, December, where weather can play a factor in like Buffalo or Cleveland and these like northeast cities, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go with Goddard. He's just keeps getting touchdowns, and he doesn't have that issue. So this week, Goddard. I think if there wasn't that, you could make the case for Fannin. But yeah, it's just a better offense overall, quarterback. And particularly like the quarterbacks in this game, they're not strong on quarterbacks. Gabriel's not strong on quarterback. Tua is not strong on quarterback. They both kind of play the same way, right? So this is the worst case scenario for those type of quarterbacks because they don't have the arm strength like the Josh Allen to throw into the wind. Like it's going to be awful. Yeah, I understand it. Like I am just worried about how like efficient he's going to be. So we'll see. What's interesting is like Njoku's out, and they really have no one else. Like they're Tillman. I know we talked about Tillman a ton on here. I want to see how much it goes. He might just get a bunch of short yardage stuff like you're talking about, but like I don't want to risk it. Like I just think there's more risk with Fannin this week because of it. I don't mind playing him, but like once we get outside the top 12-ish tight ends, like Goddard's inside the top 12. So when we get to like where you're talking about like Otten, sure, like that's fine. Like my rankings, let me pull my rankings for that. So the tight end range where I start to really worry is like Hawkinson, Pitts, Otten, like Ertz is fine because he gets it upgraded, but like Fannin, like Mayer, those guys, like that's where I'm okay plugging him in. But if we get into like the Wallers, Laportas, the Mason Taylors, I would just straight up play Mason Taylor over those guys this week. Like I just trust Goddard's role. It's been really good. And he's getting I don't know what it is about their offensive play caller that continues to want to feature him at the freaking goal line. But it's a thing, and it's hard to ignore. So like that's why Goddard kind of gets a little bit of a bump for me. So I would still go Goddard. But I don't think Fannin's a bad play. I just think there's more risk attached to it, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's all cost related with those guys. So can you get them for just like throw-ins or cheap prices? Sure. Or like a wide receiver, like a Wandale, flip it. Sure, if you have the depth of wide receiver, like do that. That's fine. I would much rather buy Chuba just because we've seen Chuba be the lead back dog in that offense. Rico had the best run out. Like the two defenses that he rush defenses are abysmal. Like it's Miami and it's Dallas, and those defenses are atrocious up front. Like so. Can he do it again? I want to see what Rico can do against a better defense this week. So we shall see. But it's going to be tough. So I would rather buy Chuba. I think there's more upside attached to him than Ramondre, but I'm also like a Trayvon Henderson believer. That makes sense, right? Jamie, where do you have Fannin in your rankings? I'm curious to see. Like, are you still really high on him this week, even because of that? But I also want to know how much his role grows this week without Njoku. That's the one thing I do want to see. Is he going to be getting like 90% of the routes? Like if he is, then it becomes a lot more stable. Because he's been so just like boom bust, like both of him and Njoku being kind of boom bust in their roles because they don't play enough, right? So it should concentrate around him. I agree, but like it's just I don't want you buying the passing games in this game. Like it's just you're just gonna absolutely unload. Like what could happen is you could see those just like those targets that are going to the tight end just go to the running back because like it's you know what I mean because the wind's so bad they might just tinker it a little bit. Yeah, like I could just do some dump offs and stuff instead. Like if they're that worried about it, because like well they're like Gabriel's not strong arm at all, and Tua isn't either. So like I just when the wind's this bad, wind's the worst. Wind's like the worst thing that could mess up an entire offense. So I want to see how it comes on Sunday. Because sometimes this is massively overblown. We'll get information comes out Sunday morning. We'll see tomorrow, and we can like see what the local reporters in Cleveland are saying. It's gonna be interesting though. So yeah, I'm taking that early game. I don't really want to be heavily invested in the game except the running backs, and we'll see where it goes from there. It could work out. Like you could hit on him. Yeah, but I have like Fanning like my 10 and 15. I'm just a little bit worried about him this week because of that. I think the floor is okay. I just don't see it at all. All right, so we're at 45 minutes here. I think we're going to head over to TikTok. We're going to wrap it up. I thank you guys for joining us. Remember, tomorrow, Sit Shark Talk. We're going to do it at 9 o'clock. Jeremy is going to do the London game. As far as I know, he said he was going to. So check out our TikTok and I don't know if it's going to be on YouTube as well. I think it might just be on TikTok. But he might do an early TikTok show, and we'll see. So overall, I think that's where we're going to be. I'll be doing it at 9 o'clock. I might have Ryan with me. I think Ryan Pro 6 is going to be with me. Not 100% sure. If not, we'll be doing this thing all over again. So I appreciate you all once again joining us for the roundtable. This is a fun discussion. I love hearing your guys' points doing that. Garrett Wilson's a buy. I don't like he's just really good and his role is good. It sucks Justin Fields. Justin Fields brings him down because Garrett Wilson has the pathway to being the wide receiver 1 overall. He does on Justin Fields. Like it just sucks with Justin Fields, but he still did really really good. So if you could buy low on Wilson and just like roster him on your bench for a while, like that's exactly what I would do. Because I always want to buy on elite players, and Garrett Wilson is an elite player this year. I had question marks about that offense and how good it could be with Fields. It's being good enough where he's supporting Garrett Wilson. So, yeah, it's answered my questions. Yeah, I hear you. So, like, that's what I'm worried about. They might just actually have him just do, like, a 4-yard out or a curl, just sit, and, like, that could be the thing. But you're also going to have defenders on that, too. Like, so I want to see how these teams play. I just don't want to take the risk. Like, I'm not going to do it personally. So that's how I'm going to go about doing that. But if you want to do it, man, go for it. And you can get it right. You can make some good money off of it. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to head over to TikTok. So if y'all want to join us, follow the QR code right there. There's TikTok. And yeah, we'll take care, folks. We'll see you over there. And we'll see you over here tomorrow, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern. Go Mariners, baby. Go Mariners. 1-1 away from World Series.
FFU.